Okay, it's P23XR ampersand.
I miss basic cable.
Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
Academy Sports and Outdoors has something for everyone in your family. From top sports brands to backyard cooking or the best in the outdoors. The North Face, Yeti, Columbia, or Magellan Outdoors, Academy has it all. Whether you're celebrating familiar traditions or exploring new ones, we've got what you need in here to have fun out there. Start your next adventure and make lifelong family memories at Academy Sports and Outdoors. Download our app or shop at academy.com.
At Marshall's, we get you more for your money. More brands, more quality, more fashion. Way more for way less. We get the deals. You get the good stuff. Marshall's.
Yo, my name is Luis, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is the different flavors that are hitting your mouth at every millisecond. You get the explosion and the zestiness of the chicken, then that spice just kicks in, and if you add that cilantro lime, perfection.
Hi, this is Becky, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is that marinade. They make sure that it is on the entire piece of chicken and not just on top. The pepper, whatever else is secret in their marinade, is amazing.
A Cadillac is more than a statement. It's a celebration of self-expression and a declaration of your independence. So choose to be bold and choose to be exactly who you are. Get 2.99% APR for 60 months plus $500 purchase allowance on the 2022 Cadillac XT4, XT5, and XT6. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
Welcome back to the Auto Owners Insurance Halftime Report. Dory, Doring, Watson, Spikes. Let's take you around the top 25 as soon as we remind you you can help those affected by Hurricane Ian. Donate at redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross prepare for, respond to, and help people recover from this disaster. Third-ranked Ohio State at home against Rutgers. Buckeyes looking to stay undefeated. Rutgers was actually up 7-0 early after an Ohio State muff punt. That's been an epidemic, right? Mayan Robinson, 32 yards, eventually took it in from 2. Buckeyes tied it, then took the lead. Then C.J. Stroud to Julian Fleming. Yet no problem now, 28-7. Big 12 championship game a year ago was these two teams. Oklahoma State sitting at 3-0, coming off a bye against 3-1 Baylor. Bears up 3. Spencer Sanders, 17th-year senior, throws it up. It's caught by Bryson Green. Cowboys up 7-3.
Climb the ladder, young man.
That'll be on You Got Moss tomorrow, no question.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That would be one of your...
that would be... Well, if it was in our conference.
Right,
yeah,
right,
we don't really go out.
He might transfer next year.
Yeah. Richard Reese can't get out of the end zone. Cowboys leading in Waco, 23-17. Quietest top 10 team in the country right there, Oklahoma State. Penn State, 11th ranked team in all the land. Auburn fans, you remember them well. Taking Northwestern. Sorry, you okay? Sean Clifford, Brenton Strange, 20 yards. Nittany's up 7-0.
Everybody loves a little Strange.
Yeah. Does that not look like a Big Ten game, just looking around the atmosphere there?
It looks miserable.
The rain?
Yes.
Nick Singleton, Auburn fans, you remember him. 11 yards, punched it in a play later. 14 zip. Nittany. All right, undefeated Florida State taking on Wake Forest. Jordan Travis, Micah Pittman. All things all good for the Noles at that point. 7 zip.
Perfect ball placement. Called him on outside leverage for the touchdown.
And then Justice Ellison, 35-yard run. Eventually, Sam Hartman had a short touchdown pass. Deeks take the lead, 14.
Their offense is fun to watch, man. Low-key, I don't think that Wake Forest gets the credit they deserve, but their offense is explosive.
A slow mesh.
Slow mesh.
Slow mesh. Donovan Green there. Yes, Wake cruising right now over Florida State.
Game of the day right here, Dari.
Yes, indeedies. I wasn't here to watch it with you guys, but...
Missed you.
Yeah, missed you guys too. Ole Miss, Kentucky, 2 4-0 teams. Fourth quarter, Will Levis to Barry and Brown. Barry and Brown, one of the 2 key freshman receivers. No pun intended. The other one is key.
Barry and Brown had 245 total yards today between his kickoff returns and receiving yards. He was a major factor.
Kentucky had a go-ahead score, but called back on a penalty. Then Levis drops back. Ball is knocked free.
Starting right tackle was out of the game with a cramp right before that play. Give up pressure from behind you, and unfortunately,
check out the celebration.
Kentucky can't finish that drive.
Levis' second fumble of the quarter. Ole Miss goes to 5-0 with the win. By the way, Chris Rodriguez, first game back, 18 carries, 72 yards for Kentucky in the loss. All right, the game we're watching, Mississippi State, 14-zip on A&M. And the A&M offense is incredibly sluggish. We understand that. How much do we want to credit Mississippi State's defense for why the A&M offense can't get going?
I mean, you think you credit all of the credit goes to the defense, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but Zach Arnett has done a wonderful job today. I saw some zone blitzes at several times. I saw a four-man front with twist game up front. And A&M offense is continuing to struggle with picking that up. He doesn't have to do anything spectacular as far as bringing extra linebackers or extra safeties. As long as they continue to do what they do, force turnovers, especially like they did right before halftime, they'll be fine.
I'm going to push back on you a little bit because we've watched this Texas A&M team several weeks in a row, and I'm not sure it matters who's out there. They have struggled to block not just blitzes, but just to block one-on-one with the offensive lineman and the defensive lineman. Their protection has been horrendous. And for Max Johnson to sit back there and get hit, whether it was Max Johnson, whether it's Haynes King, I don't think it. I think the issue was bigger than who's playing at quarterback for Texas A&M right now offensively because they really struggle to protect the passer.
Yeah, let's give credit to the Mississippi State offense as well. 2 drives right before halftime, able to finish the red zone with touchdowns down there, something that a lot of teams haven't done very well against Texas A&M's defense. Will Rogers is fun to watch, too. The distribution of the football, 8 different receivers catch passes in the first half. 3 of them have 4 catches. So being a wide receiver in high school, you look at Mississippi State as a fun place to go to get a chance to put up some numbers.
There is no doubt about it. By the way, 3 sacks for Mississippi State's defense. A&M's turned it over twice. They've done everything wrong. Probably lucky that it's just 14-0 at this point.
No doubt.
But, Dar, we got to talk about Mississippi State's run game, too.
Yeah.
Because that's
102 yards rushing.
I'm glad you said that.
They've only gone over 100 yards one other time this season. And so for them to have 100 yards in the first half, an emphasis coming into this game, I think for Mike Leach had to be to establish the run game. It's clearly an emphasis because that's not usually what they love to do.
It's year 3 of Leach there. This is the first time they've had 100 yards rushing in the first half of the ballgame.
Wow.
So they're making their mark. They did it early in the season, showed us that it was going to be a more incorporated part. Kind of went away last week, just 11 carries, but it seems to be back at this point. Second half's getting closer as we'll get you back to Starkville in just a moment. Caleb ducking.
Give it to him. Autocorrect.
Mr. Autocorrect.
Quack, quack, quack.
From the Cowboy.
Quack, quack. Duck, duck, dead.
Bravo! For buying a treadmill? You use the Quicksilver card from Capital One. It's simple, with no annual fee and unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere. That makes you the hero of every purchase. Yeah. And heroes don't take the stairs.
Is this a parachute?
What's in your wallet?
Hello, am I talking to myself here? Hello? Break time?
Thanks, Mom. Look at this. Ooh.
Good food, good connections.
Love you, Mom.
One great meal. Come together with Swift.
Quiet.
When I told Pretty Tony, listen to my tone, you ain't catching you a Tony. I walk when they walk, when you running with a shotty. Why you running from us? Why you messing with us? Maybe polar. You ain't ready, ready, roll up. Pull up machete, cut the bamboo paper. Let's roll out, baby, loud. Frankie.
A Cadillac is more than a statement. It's a celebration of self-expression and a declaration of your independence. So choose to be bold and choose to be exactly who you are.
Get 2.99% APR for 60 months plus $500 purchase allowance on the 2022 Cadillac XT4, XT5, and XT6. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
When it comes to diamonds, think big. Think Mervis. For exceptional diamond rings, wedding bands, ear studs, and more, Mervis is the leader. You cannot find Mervis quality, selection, or value anywhere else. That's why so many brides select a Mervis diamond. And now, with our lab-grown diamonds, you'll impress her with a larger diamond than ever before without spending a cent more. Easy financing is available. Mervis Diamond Importers. Nobody pays retail anymore. Why should you?
Don't forget, you get the four of us when we are all finished with our nightcap, which is Georgia, #1 team in all the land, in Columbia to take on Missouri. SEC football final for a full recap of all 5 games and plenty more from around the world of college football. Oh, talk about a drive killer. That was it. 3rd A&M sack, Mississippi State sack of the half. It's 14-zip. Second half is next.
This halftime report is presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Dish and Sling customers, ESPN is no longer available on your TV lineup. Don't miss out on college football, Monday Night Football, MLB, SportsCenter, and more. Go to keepmyespn.com for more information.
It takes years to build a business, one that sustains a family and is worth passing on. We recognize how personal business can be. It's why we work closely with you to provide the financing and cash management you need to grow the business, so that your life's work will continue to prosper once it's in someone else's hands. We believe real banking is a conversation. Let's talk about your business. Sandy Spring Bank.
Pacifico is a crisp golden lager, brewed for those who know. It's what's behind a label that matters.
Quiet.
I'm on the tone when I told Pretty Tony. Listen to my tone, you ain't catching you a Tony. I walk when they walk, when you running with a shotty. Why you running from us? Why you messing with us? Maybe Polar, you ain't ready, ready, roll up. Pull up machete, cut the bamboo paper. Let's roll out, baby, loud. Frankie.
Since when do you drink tap? Since I found out. Ugh, gross. I know.
At Olive Garden, sauce is the soul. It's what takes you on a tour of Italy. That's why we make our sauces from scratch every day.
A Cadillac is more than a statement. It's a celebration of self-expression and a declaration of your independence. So choose to be bold and choose to be exactly who you are.
Get 2.99% APR for 60 months plus 500 purchase allowance on the 2022 Cadillac XT4, XT5, and XT6. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
You're watching SEC Network Football presented by Allstate. Mississippi State doing the duck today as the Bulldogs lead the Aggies 14-0 at the half. With the College Football Hall of Famer Matt Stinchcomb and Alyssa Lang, I'm Taylor Zarzer. Mississippi State has been cruising offensively all season while the Aggies continue to search for that offensive identity. More of the same in that first half.
Yeah, and the difficulties more than anything else is that when they did get the ball, which was not very frequently, they get it into scoring position. Both times in the red zone, they come away empty-handed due to takeaways. Credit the Mississippi State defense for being resilient, but the Aggies have to find a way to capitalize. And among the highlights offensively for Mississippi State, able to find Caleb Ducking after 2 attempts to him to the right side of the formation. You stick one in there. Rufus Harvey gets in there. And, of course, we talked about the turnovers. Colin Duncan stripping Devon A-Chain. DeCamerion Richardson coming up with the recovery. And then the pressure. Max Johnson gives up the football. Tyrus Wheat comes up with a recovery to defuse right at the end of the half. The lone bright spot there, seemingly outside of the other possession for the Aggies.
And those are the first half stats brought to you by Bear. Those 2 turnovers were critical with the forced fumbles on the bottom of the graphic. Mississippi State owning the time of possession. Aggies do get the ball first. And A-Chain fields at the 6 at a great return in the end of the second quarter. This time he gets down to the 23. Let's go down to Alyssa.
Yeah, guys, Matt Stinchcomb essentially repeated what Jimbo Fisher just said to me when I asked him how they can generate some more offensive momentum. He said, well, we've been able to move the football. It just comes down to those turnovers. He said defensively, pretty simple. We have to get off the field.
Meanwhile, Alyssa, we have injured players for both teams that are down near the 25-yard line. And that's Shamar Turner for Texas A&M. It's Timms for Mississippi State. Sherman Timms, the linebacker, seemed to be okay.
Hard to tell what happened there. Oftentimes, or what people don't understand, the most violent play in maybe all of sports is kickoff. The return team, the coverage team, a lot of collisions out there.
You would have to think that Max Johnson is going to have to be more effective in the passing game in this second half, Stinch. Just 5 of 8 passing for 50 yards in the first half.
Well, another playmaker is going to have to emerge for this offense other than Devon Achane. I mean, literally, you stop number 6, you stop the Aggie offense right now.
Can't stop him here. As he gets out past the 30, Jet Johnson makes the tackles. 9 more for Achane, who now has 79 yards rushing.
We talked about how he does a great job running on the inside. Good job there. It's just a divide zone. He ends up hitting it straight downhill. Not scared to put his foot in the ground and explode through the line of scrimmage.
A first down run for Devon up to the 34. Stinch, typically when you have a world-class sprinter on your team, he's lined up near the sidelines, not running between the tackles. This guy is an all-American track star for A&M in the 100-meter, 200-meter, and the 4x100-meter relay. And then he sticks his helmet in between guards and tackles and defensive linemen on the football field.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but usually the perception of sprinters is they're kind of divas, right? It's delicate flowers. They run fast, but you don't want to mess with them. Nothing delicate about this guy.
Max Johnson trying to escape the pressure. Great job there to complete it to Evan Stewart for 9 more. Pookie Watson was all over Johnson in the backfield.
Great job by Johnson. Just slamming on the brakes, he flies right by. Comes off that play action fake. Watch him slam on those brakes. He's left-handed, buys himself a little bit of time, and Stewart, who was blanked in the first half. The guy they tried to get him the football was a backwards pass on his lone catch in the first 2 quarters.
First down, Achane flying through those holes. Down to the Bulldogs 41, 16 more.
You talk about the importance of starting the game fast. There's nothing more important than starting the second half fast. Everyone's covered up. Look at that movement by the offensive front. A maligned one at that. Didn't have a great first half. Had a couple of bright spots. Otherwise, a difficult first half. That time, the right side of the Aggie front with great push.
Anaya Smith out. Achane's the horse, and he's got over 100 yards now with that run. Tyrus Wheat able to trip him up. Achane now with 15 touches in this game. And Jimbo Fisher said usually we like to get him 19 or 20, but this guy's got plenty more in him too.
Yeah, and what they're doing right now, we talked about Mississippi State, how active they are along their defensive front. They do a lot of stunts and twists, especially on rundowns. That's not always easy when you're in man blocking schemes. You can get confused. It's basically the same concept over and over again on this drive. Zone to the left, zone to the right. Everybody step with your left foot. Everybody step with your right foot. Hit whatever shows up.
Bulldogs show pressure. A-Chain not able to get the edge. Jalen Green with the tackle.
Did it again. It's zone to the right this time. And that time a shoestring tackle. It started with a runaround tackle off the edge. It was able to trip up A-Chain. Big third down. It's been a difficult down all game long for Texas A&M. They haven't had a ton of them, but they're 0 for 3 in that third down. A-Chain in the backfield. Who can emerge at receiver that can be targeted in the passing game?
Johnson incomplete. Evan Stewart had it in his breadbasket. Would have been short of the first. Instead, it's 4th and 6.
Jet Johnson right in Max Johnson's face. Regardless, Stewart still should have come up with it. It didn't matter. A&M saying, look, we've had limited possessions. Let's go for it.
It's the first time all year they've gone for it on 4th down.
Two wide rushers by the state defense. See if they stunt into the middle.
Johnson gets rid of it, but Stewart is drilled well shy of the first down, and it's Jet Johnson again.
Buki Watson, Jet Johnson. Johnson's 8th tackle. Trying to get the ball to Stewart, the true freshman.
Mississippi State pitching the shutout against the Aggies. It's the turnover on downs after another tackle by Mississippi State's defensive leader, Jet Johnson.
The idea of safety can be overwhelming. How do you secure your future? For over 75 years, WAEPA's group term life insurance has helped civilian federal employees. To learn more, visit WAEPA.org.
Bedtime.
The thin, sweet bite to end the night. Oreo Thins.
A Cadillac is more than a statement. It's a celebration of self-expression and a declaration of your independence. So choose to be bold and choose to be exactly who you are.
Get 2.99% APR for 60 months plus $500 purchase allowance on the 2022 Cadillac XT4, XT5, and XT6. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
Oh, get him! Man, can you turn that off?
Guess game recognizes game, huh?
Never lose, never choose to. Bruise, cruise, who? Do something to us. Talk, go through us.
PlayStation. Little Caesars is now the official pizza sponsor of the NFL. Let's go! Come on, keep it hot.
It's good! Pizza.
Again.
Harder, readier. Let's go. Pizza.
Pizza. No, pull. High five.
Pizza.
Come on.
Pizza.
We're ready.
Enjoy game day with the Fanceroni Pepperoni with over 100 old world pepperonis.
Pizza.
You said close your eyes, don't look down. Fall into
Celebrate every kiss with 20 to 40% off engagement, wedding, and anniversary rings. Only at Kay.
During the break, we had a huge turn of events. Buki Watson has been kicked out of the game for targeting. He launched with his helmet here on Max Johnson, Stench. Watch this.
Yeah, it's all the elements. Really stupid play by Watson. I mean, you're off the field right here. you launch, head or neck area, defenseless player, the whole deal. And so not only are you out of the game, but you just gifted your opponent a first down.
And he's going to miss the first half here against Arkansas next week, and he has wreaked havoc on the Aggies so far today.
A really, really poor decision on what has been a strong performance from Watson. It's not necessary.
So it gives Texas A&M new life at the 20-yard line. This is their third trip to the red zone. They're 0 for 2 today with 2 fumbles. Mike Leach still discussing things with referee Kyle Olson.
Johnson was buying time. The pressure had flushed him out, and you see Watson there. There's no disputing that was the definition of a targeting play.
And there's no doubt it involved the launch.
And keep in mind, the flag didn't come out on the field. The booth saw this. They initiated that call, and correctly so. Huge play. Big impact. J.P. Purvis in there now for Buki Watson.
False start on Texas A&M.
False start, offense, multiple players, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Texas A&M's first penalty, and I think the cowbells had something to do with it.
And they've actually held up really well procedurally in this game with this noise. As you pointed out, these fans get it. They know when they can ring them and when they have to stop. But it couldn't come at a worse time. I think the bluff, the pressure bluff from the defense also triggered the right side of the Aggie line to fall out of their stance.
Johnson slings it out there, complete to Chris Marshall. It's a pickup of 9. It'll be 2nd and 6.
You know, Taylor, if nothing else, this drive has allowed others to emerge. Marshall now, Evan Stewart with a couple of targets and catches on this drive.
Both of those guys you just mentioned are true freshmen. Aggies roster filled with them in 2022.
Other 2 drives into the red zone came away empty due to turnovers.
Low snap, A-Chain doesn't slow him down. 1st and goal, Aggies at the 8.
Some of Max Johnson's best plays in this game, when you look back, are going to be fielding the snap. That is low, right at his ankles. You got to field it, get up, without throwing off the timing, because you want A-Chain to get that ball and get downhill. A great job of fielding it cleanly and getting it into the belly of his playmaker. That's Stewart singled up at the bottom of your screen.
Maybe a yard.
Nice job by the Mississippi State front right there. They were loaded up on the right side of the Aggie front. Cameron Young, quietly one of their best defensive linemen. They get his name called a lot.
He's making his 17th straight start today.
A great job of anchoring inside, especially when they only have those 3 down linemen. This time a 4 down front for Mississippi State. Tyrus Wheat there on the edge, number 2.
Another bad snap. Johnson picks it up, throws it away. Incredibly fortunate to see another down.
See so much. See, it's internal pressure. And they're trying to run the football again. The offensive line's trying to get off. Look at that ball just dribbled backwards. Bryce Foster did not get that snap up. It rolled back to Max Johnson. We talked about it earlier. He was able to field it cleanly that time. Really, the Aggies lucky that he didn't just have to eat that ball and concede the yardage backwards.
Johnson, it's dropped. Evan Stewart.
Once again, pressure moves Max Johnson off the mark. It's all been inside out the whole game. He's rolling to his left-handed quarterback. Tries to throw it back against his body and hits Stewart. Stewart got to help his quarterback out, doing everything he can. Come up with that catch.
Randy Bond to put the Aggies on the board from 24 yards. And finally, Texas A&M has some points. But they're just 1 for 3 in the red zone today with 3 total points. Down 14-3 with 8:49 to go in the third quarter. Oh, so close.
Security. It's something we all want. Something we need to feel safe. It's everywhere we go. It's in everything we do. But the idea of safety can be overwhelming. How do you secure what you can't see? How do you secure your future? For over 75 years, WAEPA's group term life insurance has helped provide financial safety, security, and peace of mind to civilian federal employees. To learn more, visit WAEPA.org.
Dip into Typhoon Cove, the metro area's most outrageous indoor water.
Hey, Carl?
Yeah.
We're doing Snickers. We did the water park yesterday.
You didn't invite me?
We didn't actually go to...
Was it fun?
Never mind, Carl.
Hi, I'm Alok, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is it has that kick. Not too spicy, but it's just enough for your taste buds to feel that level of heat. And you're like, ooh, this is good. It's the perfect amount of spicy.
Hi, I'm Capri, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is the chicken. You can tell they actually put it on the grill, cooked it in the sauce, marinated it. You're definitely getting a good grilled spicy sandwich.
Hey class, this is Lily.
When you see things differently, you can be the difference.
Welcome.
Capella University looks at education differently. Our FlexPath learning format helps you control the pace and cost of your master's degree. Make your difference with Capella University.
Here's the problem. Nobody knows what Hulu Plus Live TV is.
Yeah, it comes with over 75 live channels with sports like NFL games, plus Disney Plus, plus ESPN Plus.
What if we call it Hulu Plus Live TV Plus Plus Plus?
That's dumb, but we're going to go with it.
There's so many great places to eat in this conference, and 44 Prime, Roy Oswalt's place. 3-time All-Star baseball player. His joint's pretty nice now. Cool scene in there, a lot of grub, delicious grub in fact. A bucket of lobster mac, a tower of red velvet cake, and a mountain of regret.
Oh,
look at
love that.
This guy spent about 30 minutes face down in the feed trough. And look at that. Life's all about decisions.
That's our statistician, Kevin Maloney, a Mississippi State alum.
Pace yourself, man. Pace yourself.
He had a rough night.
He was busy. It was an active night. It was come up for air, pal. It's like sitting next to a wood chipper.
I got to give Alyssa credit. She crushed the meal as usual. What came in fearless last night to that place. Here's the return by Tulu Griffin. Past the 25.
It was an incredible meal, I have to add in on this. And I also enjoyed watching Stinch bully our statistician into finishing his steak.
That was all
That was
encouragement.
great.
That was just encouragement. Don't miss this opportunity.
My favorite part is Alyssa looking at Kevin. You see my plate? It's clean.
Yeah, for real.
I'm not going to order a steak and not finish it, y'all.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. Yeah, Ryan Jackson, that guy he's a mixologist of the stars. Dude's talented.
It's a great town with great food. Love coming here to Stark Vegas. 14-3 Bulldogs up on the Aggies at their own 27-yard line, and Dylan Johnson is past the 30. If you've been flipping back and forth, watching that Alabama-Arkansas game, watching us, you may not know this, but Mississippi State has been committed to the running game. That's right, Mike Leach air raid. They have 107 rushing yards today. They only average 80 in an entire game, and here we are in the middle of the third quarter. Back to the air raid. It's ducking. Scored a touchdown and coughed up the ball, and here's Texas A&M's chance.
We talked about A&M and their turnovers in the first half. They couldn't capitalize.
Rolling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down, Texas A&M.
On some short fields. Then they stage a drive, get down and get a field goal. Mississippi State is going to gift them great field position. Ducking, didn't really ever put that ball away. Look at it. Got it all nice and loose. Had it in both hands there for a second. Put it over in his right arm just for a moment. And Deuce Harmon comes in there and punched that ball out.
Walter Nolan, the big defensive tackle, was Johnny on the spot. And the Aggies have it. The Bulldogs 25. Texas A&M was going off the field after not converting a fourth down. Buki Watson targeted Max Johnson for a fresh set of downs. It led to an Aggie field goal, and now Texas A&M starts this drive at the Mississippi State 25 after the turnover. Johnson, that was a dangerous pass, but getting there.
You got to get on those guys. Colin Duncan just knifes through the would-be block. Great open field tackle.
The Aggies have not converted a third down today.
The state defense been committed to pressure it. Here they come.
And they jumped early.
False start. Offense. Number 60. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Left tackle Trey Zoom.
Look at Jimbo Fisher. He's like, I mean, what do we do? You were able to extend the drive. On the previous possession, you drop a touchdown pass. You get a turnover, and you start it on the 22-yard line. Next thing you know, you're snapping it from the 31. Well, the cowbells are up and ringing now.
Johnson gets rid of it, takes another big hit, and it's a few yards for Chris Marshall to the 26-yard line. Tyrus Wheat all over Max in the backfield.
Let me tell you something, Taylor. They're not bringing more than you can block on this one. A lot of this is like a simulated pressure, but they've confused the protection repeatedly. And their quarterback is taking a beating. Now, how many times have we seen Max Johnson on the ground after these throws, run around for his life? Look at the back of his jersey. That guy's got a lot of Wade Davis turf ground into that 14.
They're doing all that without the voice of their defense, Mookie Watson, who was ejected on the previous drive. This will be the longest field goal made this year by Randy Bond. It's a 44-yard attempt. And it's blocked. It's picked up. DeCamerion Richardson. Emmanuel Forbes blocked it, and Richardson recovered it. Stinchie's been a solid 3-year player for the Bulldogs. He has no interceptions in his career. Now he has a fumble recovery for a touchdown.
He's been around the ball all day today. You think about when A-Chain earlier in the first half had the fumble. Richardson's there to come up with it. This time he's right there off the blocked field goal in the return. I believe the flag was for celebration. There's a number of the Mississippi State Bulldog players that were on the sidelines that were very much on the field celebrating that return.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the recovering team. Mississippi State's team bench. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. The score is good.
First blocked field goal for Mississippi State in 8 years. Rabin makes it 21-3.
It's been a wild third quarter. The Aggies come out, they stage a drive, they come up empty, they get gifted a short field. They go backwards offensively, try a field goal, and even that goes the other direction. And the Bulldogs pick up a special team score.
With Geico, we can easily bundle home and car insurance and save even more.
Yeah, just like that breakfast burrito.
There isn't too much hot sauce, is there? I have a sensitive palate.
I actually like hot sauce.
How about guacamole?
I don't really know what we're talking about anymore.
Burritos.
Insurance.
Geico.
Here, have a Triscuit.
Bring on the zest with fire-roasted tomato and olive oil. Bring it with Triscuit.
At Olive Garden, sauce is the soul. It's what takes you on a tour of Italy. That's why we make our sauces from scratch every day.
Quiet.
Monotone when I told Pretty Tony, listen to my tone, you ain't catching you a Tony. Award-winning walk when you running with a shotty. Why you running from us? Why you messing with us? Maybe polar. You ain't ready, ready, roll up. Pull up machete, cut the bamboo paper. Let's roll out, baby, loud. Frankie.
Here's the problem, team. Nobody knows what Hulu Plus Live TV is.
Yeah, it comes with over 75 live channels with sports like NFL games, plus Hulu's entire streaming library.
Plus Disney Plus, plus ESPN Plus.
What if we change the name?
Give me something. No bad ideas. Let's go.
Super Hulu.
Bad idea.
Hulu Bold.
No.
Hulu Plus Live TV Plus.
Yeah, everybody's kind of doing the plus thing after the name.
What if we call it Hulu Plus Live TV Plus Plus Plus?
You're saying 3 pluses? That's what you're saying? That's dumb, but we're going to go with it.
Are you ready for football? Are you dreaming for football?
I love you, Josh Allen.
Are you crafting, prepping, and screaming for football? Good. Then you're ready. It has always started with the call to serve, fighting and winning for our nation. But Marines are never really finished. They serve in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis. Always faithful. Always Marine.
Better run through the jungle.
A great story has magic, power, and every once in a while, it has miracles. As luck would have it, that's our story.
Tonight, wrap up Week 5 with SEC football final. Darian Oka, Chris Doring, Benjamin Watson, and Zakio Spikes. They take you through the stories of the day, break down all the games. It's at 10:30 Eastern, or whenever Georgia and Mizzou are done. It's right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. We're talking about Mississippi State, all of the turnovers they've created today. DeCamerion Richardson has a fumble recovery and also a field goal block recovery. Just scored on the last one. This is Jalen Preston, and he gets drilled short of the 30-yard line. But I can't wait till then. Let's talk to Darian Oka right now. Studio update on the Hogs and the Tide.
It has gotten wild in Fayetteville. Bama was up 28-0 at one point. Now 28-17. Bad snap on a punt. Arkansas gets it on the 3. Rocket Sanders takes it in. 23 unanswered for the Hogs. It's 28-23 Alabama. Late third.
Keep our eyes on that, Dar, as you missed it. Bryce Young injured his shoulder, and Jalen Milroe in at quarterback in Fayetteville. These two teams play those two teams next week. Max Johnson down 21-3. Tripped up after a minimal gain. It was DeMonte Russell.
You know, we were talking with Zach Arnett earlier this week, defensive coordinator for Mississippi State, about the LSU game, whether he would change things versus a mobile quarterback. So, you know, I think we would have been more forceful along the edges, less escape routes. That time, Max Johnson almost got loose. Great tackle by DeMonte Russell, right around the shoelaces of number 14.
Johnson dumps it off underneath, and it's Moose Muhammad to the 34, but it's only a pickup of 5.
Part of it is there hasn't been time, but when's the last time we've seen a ball down him? As you see big Moose Muhammad in the stands here today to support his son. And the Aggie offense is needing these receivers to step up big. We've seen Stewart. Muhammad's got a couple of targets in this game. Who can step up on a third down? Let's see if they can't get their first conversion. State with pressure again inside.
First down to Muhammad, and he's free. Down inside the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 37.
Well, Taylor, we've seen it a couple of times. when Max Johnson's had a pocket to work with, he can deliver the ball downfield. Nice pickup. Maybe the cleanest pickup all game by the Aggie offensive front. Able to hit Muhammad in stride. Look at the run after the catch. See a injured Mississippi State defender on the field. Jackie Matthews picked up that PI right before the end of the second quarter. It's the longest play of the game, 36-yarder.
Matthews, the graduate player, began his career at West Virginia.
It was just a little shaken up. A little gimpy as he heads to the sidelines. So look at the second half so far. The Aggies go right down the field. They were aided by that fourth down targeting call. Came away with 3 points. You get a short field, you go backwards, you get your field goal blocked. But now you've got an opportunity. You've moved the ball, you get an explosive play, your biggest play on offense all game because of the blitz pickup. Now, can you execute in the plus side of the field? And this is where they've gone backwards.
Lucien and Krista nervously watching on. Luce, of course, had that incredible 14-year career for the Bears and the Panthers. Johnson slings it to the sideline to Stewart for another first. 12 more.
Another nice pickup. Good protection, clean pocket, no pressure. And Mississippi State, all game long, they've been able to generate pressure, not just off the edges, largely right in the middle. That's right in your quarterback's field of vision. That time, they held up great inside out and on the edges. Back-to-back completions.
Aggies have had the football basically the entire third quarter, but they're being outscored again. Johnson to Muhammad. Touchdown. $18-yard reception after the brutal game he had last week. He's in the end zone this week for the Aggies' first touchdown.
Proud dad. Muhammad working in the slot versus safety Colin Duncan. Max Johnson knew he had what he wanted. Muhammad helps his quarterback, does a great job turning around, high pointing that ball. 3 clean pockets, 3 completions in a row.
Here's a flag down as we'll check that.
Offside, defense number 13 in the neutral zone at the time of the snap. That penalty is declined. Score's good.
Wherever fun happens, Academy Sports and Outdoors is there.
Brad Johnson's kid finds Musa Muhammad's kid for a touchdown, and it's 21-10. Moose and Krista, a little bit of a smile on their face. He was one heck of a Michigan State Spartan before he starred in the pros for the Carolina Panthers, and he has become a huge member of our community in Charlotte, North Carolina. His wife Krista next to him. And Moose, his son, has really taken over the spot that Anaya Smith was lining up on the football field. Jimbo Fisher's quick to say it's not just Moose. Everybody's going to have to step up with the loss of Smith.
Well, and so far, up until this drive, really this half, they haven't done it. They've now had the opportunity to do so, and were able to capitalize. Best drive far and away. This second half, they've been able to stage 2 nice drives. Come away with 10 points. Can Aggies persist? Can they keep that going? Well, Mississippi State conceding some of that momentum they picked up off of that blocked field goal for a score.
It doesn't feel like we have seen Texas A&M's defense on the field this quarter, Alyssa.
Yeah, guys, I've been standing on the sideline listening to some of the conversations that defense has been having, and Antonio Johnson has been bringing the energy on the sideline. Number 27, that defensive back for Texas A&M, after that last touchdown, going up to every single player he could find, saying, keep fighting, we got plenty of time.
This is only the third play they've been on the field this quarter, and it's Dylan Johnson breaking tackles for 7.
Kind of the inverse of what we saw in the first half, right? Mississippi State had the ball almost the entire first half. Now here in the third quarter, it's largely been A&M. 2 long drives, of course, a short possession by Mississippi State with the fumble by Caleb Duckett.
Second and 3. Rogers throws against his body, and it's a first down catch by Robinson.
I don't know how he got that off. I don't know how he got anything on this throw. Rolling to his left against his body and throwing back to the right. Fadil Diggs got a hit on him as he got that ball off. I don't know how he put anything on that pass.
You typically don't want your quarterback to throw back to the middle of the field, but Robinson was wide open. Dump it off this time, and it's another first down for Johnson, who gets into Aggie territory.
They tried to set up a screen earlier to the left. That time it's a middle tunnel screen. Johnson was able to get in behind his blockers downfield. Well executed. Not only by Johnson, but by the offensive front that released downfield to block.
14 more. Now they'll run it. And Johnson bangs in there for a couple more. Fadil Diggs on the tackle. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. 3-1 Mississippi State leading number 17 Texas A&M 21-10. Rogers wide open. It's Harvey. 2 straight 14-yard completions.
Well, 3 receiver side. Look, they blow up the wide receiver screen. So you play upfield, and one of the would-be blockers, he just releases out in the route.
Johnson gets down inside the 26-yard line. Rogers now on the day 26 of 35 for 215 yards and 2 touchdowns. He needs 12 more completions to have more than any other SEC quarterback ever. And this is only the 3rd season he's been playing. We'll go to the 4th quarter after a wild 3rd quarter. It featured a targeting play, a couple of fumbles, a kick return that was blocked, and a touchdown by Moose Muhammad.
It's called the sandwich generation. The parent of a child is also the child of a parent and is caring for them both. A privilege you wouldn't ever trade, and a challenge that can take up most of your energy. We're here to make home more comfortable for everyone. With the right home loan for you, whether it's a first home or refinance, renovation or addition, fixer-upper or new build. We believe real banking is a conversation. Let's talk about your mortgage. Sandy Spring Bank.
At Boar's Head, we've been going back to school for over 115 years. And this year, every school lunch is reason to celebrate with the flavors your kids love and the exceptional quality you expect. Helping you make school lunch fresh, easy, and delicious. Ring the bell. The deli is open. Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.
Quiet.
I'm out of tone when I told Penny Tony. Listen to my tone, you ain't catching you a Tony. Award-winning walk when you running with a shotty. Why you running from us? Why you messing with us? Maybe polar. You ain't ready, ready, roll up. machete, cut the bamboo paper. Let's roll out, baby, loud. Frankie.
Yo, my name is Luis, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is the different flavors that are hitting your mouth at every millisecond. You get the explosion and the zestiness of the chicken, then that spice just kicks in, and if you add that cilantro lime, perfection.
Hi, this is Becky, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is that marinade. They make sure that it is on the entire piece of chicken and not just on top. The pepper, whatever else is secret in their marinade, is amazing.
They're just 4 smaller Klarna payments. When you shop at any store, you get your items right away, and they split the cost into bite-sized payments without interest. And you can earn rewards on every purchase. It's a lot of service. Klarna. Smooth shopping.
Get him! Man, can you turn that off?
Guess game recognizes game, huh?
Never lose, never choose to. Bruise, cruise, who? Do something to us. Talk, go through us. PlayStation.
Dorian OK in studio. We update from Fayetteville after Arkansas reeled off 23 unanswered against Alabama. Jace McClellan finishes off a drive, and it's 35-23 now, tied early fourth.
Jalen Milroe can fly. He's the backup quarterback after Young got hurt earlier. Here, Mississippi State driving to start the fourth quarter, up 21-10 on those fighting Texas Aggies. Rogers. And here come the flags. Denver Harris draped all over the receiver. Justin Robinson.
Pass interference, defense, number 2, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
He's one of 11 true freshmen that DJ Durkin has had to use so far this year, Stinch.
And he's long, and you could see that Rogers looked out there, saw him pressed up. Justin Robinson at 6'4", and he was going back shoulder all the way. That ball came out quick. Caught it, one step, ball comes out, forced the PI.
Jalen Jones banged up in the first half, so Coach Durkin has had to go to his bench. Rogers to the end zone. Incomplete. Justin Robinson and Harris again, and this time Harris wins the battle.
Robinson had this ball, and Harris does a great job of playing all the way through the catch. Watch Robinson, he's calling for it. Hit me, I'm 6'4", touchdown. Nope. Look at Harris. Does a great job of forcing that left hand, divide the receiver's hands. Pops the ball right out. That's a great defensive play.
2nd and 10.
True freshman, Denver Harris.
Rogers. Robinson is stoned at the 1, but it'll be right near another first down.
The staple of the air raid, mesh. You got 2 shallow crosses. You see him right there. The receiver working from the left to the right, and Jaden Wally, and 18 pops open, and Justin Robinson. They're saying they were short of the line to gain to get the first down.
Antonio Johnson prevented it, so it's 3rd and 1 at the 1.
And Leach is desperately trying to get a timeout. He was jumping on like the 15-yard line and ended up on like the 7. He just could not get the field judge's attention. What he's doing here is, as much as anything, he's like, hey, I want y'all to take another hard look at this. I'm not sure this isn't a first down.
The ruling on the field was a first down. The boxes were incorrect. It should be a first down. We will not charge Mississippi State with a timeout.
There you go. Well, it's interesting because, he caught the ball and then they're signaling for the clock to stop on a completion tackled in bounds.
Had to get inside the one, and he did.
But then they never moved the chains. The boxes did not reset. It was showing 3rd and short. He clearly got that first. No harm, no foul. A little bit of time. He's short of the goal line, but certainly got the first down yardage.
Dylan Johnson next to Rogers. Moving to his left. And he is hit immediately, losing a couple. Fidel Diggs. It's a 2-yard loss.
Diggs was in the backfield right now. Nowhere to go inside. Diggs was able to collapse from the outside. See there, just nowhere to go up front. Not enough room. Really, Chris Russell did a good enough job. This is Stephen Lasoya, stacked him up. Aggies in the A-gaps again, inside out.
Rogers misses the mark, looking for Jameer Calvin.
You said it. Rogers wanted that ball back almost immediately. They tried to hit Calvin earlier. They were down here. They let him a little bit too much. That time that ball was too far upfield for Calvin. And as soon as he let it go, you could see Rogers started to clap. He didn't like that ball.
11th play of the drive. The Bulldogs get in the end zone. It's a 3-score game. If they don't, the Aggies would have a chance to keep it at a 2-score separation. Rogers caught but short at the 1. It's Tulu Griffin.
So as you pointed out, Taylor, what do you do here as Tulu Griffin makes a great catch? You see Rogers, he's saying we're going for it, right? Here comes Austin Williams. On comes Woody Marks. Haven't seen much of him this half. Looks like they're going to go with their 2-back look. Texas A&M, Mississippi State, among the few offenses that run 2 backs, although Marks is on the edge.
Johnson, touchdown. He was hit in the backfield, but he fell forward for 6.
Tyreek Chappelle, he's the unblocked edge defender on the backside of that play. He was down around the legs. Johnson able to power his way in.
I think all of us have been wondering the last few years if Mike Leach's air raid offense could be physical enough to win football games. The answer is an emphatic yes today against Texas A&M. A 12-play, 75-yard drive culminates with Dylan Johnson. Physical running, extra effort, touchdown State.
Flo, you're here. This pipe just burst on me.
Well, you bundled home and auto with Progressive, so you have round-the-clock protection on all your stuff. Like that cardboard TV.
I told Props to switch that out. Okay, everyone, that's a wrap.
Wait, you faked this whole thing?
I knew it was the quickest way to see you.
Oh, I'm sorry, John, but I'm already in love with insurance.
You know that's weird, right?
Well, any weirder than faking a burst pipe?
Got a little carried away.
so sweet, so crispy. Nobody makes breakfast as good as Wendy's new home-style French toast sticks.
Nobody.
Nope.
Keep talking. I can't hear you.
I should probably stop.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new home-style French toast sticks.
It's time for a new kind of diamond. One that's made, not mined. And is as unique and beautiful as you and me. Diamonds by Pandora. Exquisitely beautiful, lab-created diamonds.
Doctor will be in to see you shortly. Hi.
When you see things differently, you can be the difference. Capella University looks at education differently. Our FlexPath learning format lets you set deadlines and earn your nursing degree on your schedule. Make your difference with Capella University.
What I like most about being featured in Hulu is that it makes me feel that my story's super cool and I am bigger than I am because it's Hulu. Like everybody watches Hulu like nationwide. So it makes you feel that you're way bigger than just like a small shop. The way that I use social media to kind of to translate it to Hulu Manager is that whatever works on Instagram and TikTok, I basically put it on Hulu and it kind of just translates quite well. We saw that people were buying more that item. I will definitely recommend Hulu Manager.
Due to Hurricane Ian, tomorrow afternoon, quarterback Anthony Richardson and the Gators host Eastern Washington at the Swamp. Coverage begins at noon on SEC Network Plus and ESPN Plus. To watch the game, you can go to ESPNplus.com or download the ESPN app. And please help people affected by Hurricane Ian. Donate at redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross prepare for, respond to, and help people recover from this awful natural disaster. Your donation makes a big difference. A-Chain says, why not? Stop shy of the 20. You know, since there are reasons why A&M's offense is searching for an identity in 2022. They've had so much inexperience on the offensive front and even at the skill positions, relying heavily on Devon A-Chain and Aniyah Smith. And now with Smith hurt, it's A-Chain, and you're wondering who else.
Yeah, well, and you saw the production, you know, in one quarter, just about A&M able to match their entire first half production.
Johnson incomplete, looking for Evan Stewart. Covered up by Emmanuel Forbes. Second down. Now Stewart might be one of those guys that emerges as this season goes along and you get into next year. He's one of 20 true freshmen that have played so far this season for Texas A&M. Such a young team, incredibly young football team that they're having to grow up real time. There's a pass to Muhammad, who gets near the 30 where Wheat makes the tackle. Pickup of 12 for the sophomore.
You mentioned Muhammad needing to step up. Aniyah Smith out, obviously, among others. The receiving core needing to step up. Jimbo Fisher said, you know, who's the guy? Who's next? He said, it's a bunch of guys. He basically gave us his wide receiver room. That's the guys that needed to step up. Muhammad here in the second half doing so.
Max will dump it off to Marshall, one of those true freshmen. He's got a first down past the 40.
Once again, protection, nice and clean. 4 rushers. Max Johnson, clean pocket. Good delivery right over the middle. Chris Marshall just hitches up right there, centers up, sees his quarterback, shows him his hands. Nice pitch and catch.
A&M has 268 total yards today. It is 60, almost 60 underneath their average. Johnson's not going to get this one off. Javon Banks and J.P. Purvis greet each other in the backfield.
And that time he just ended up winning. You got your back into Devon A-Chain, who's done everything. Watch him pick up the edge rusher. Purvis is right around the quarterback's feet. And of course, big Javon Banks is there to clean him up. And once again, they're able to win. They bring 4. Banks was double teamed in protection.
And Purvis is in there because Watson was ejected due to targeting. Max steps up. Good ball. And it's Muhammad with a first down catch near the 40-yard line. 26 more for the sophomore.
Effectively, you're looking at it, eating up the middle of the field with Moose Muhammad. Just about all of them. You see Max Johnson holding that hand. Looked like it was his left throwing hand. Here comes Muhammad.
6 catches for 119 yards and a touchdown in one of his breakout performances here. Johnson escapes the pressure, and it's caught. Barely getting it to Marshall. Be a minimal gain. You know, Stitch, A&M is outside the top 100 in the nation in scoring, rushing, passing, and total yards, and it looks like Max might have hurt his hand here.
Yeah, Tyrus Wheat got his hand up on that completion to Muhammad, and kind of looked like Johnson. You see him working those fingers. Kind of jacked up his fingers on his throwing hand. That last throw, he did not have a ton on it.
Jump off to A-Chain. Makes a couple miss and gets down to the 33.
And Johnson's going to the sideline. Even after that completion. Working on that left hand.
Haynes King will come in.
Haynes King, obviously the starter to begin the season. Started the first 2 ball games. Had a hard time protecting the football. Has to come in now on a key 3rd down. This is 3rd and manageable. Keep in mind, Haynes King, probably the fastest player on this Aggie team.
A-Chain gets the handoff from Haynes, and it's a first down. Haynes.
Receptions versus Sam Houston State in the opener. And it didn't. Still turned the ball over. Could have been even uglier. Turn on that tape. That's concerning. Brought in Max Johnson. He was a stabilizing force. How can Haynes King help this offense complete this drive?
Keeps it himself. There's that speed you're talking about. And it's a first down to the 17.
It changes things a little bit for the Mississippi State defense. Max Johnson, he's a runner, but not near the threat that King is. So you crash down in there all game long. You haven't been as worried about the pool game. Now all of a sudden, you better honor it. As you see Johnson with that ball in his hand, looks like his left thumb nicked up.
Low snap, King, and he threw it too far away from Stewart, but a flag comes in. Richardson and Stewart battling.
Flag came out pretty early. That ball was deep. I don't know if they're going to call defensive holding.
Holding, defense, number 3 against an eligible receiver. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Penalties eating up Mississippi State here in the second half. It's been defensive penalties. Must have happened early on in that route. And you see it there. They're calling it as if they were impeding Stewart's progress downfield. That's why that ball looked like it was so heavily overthrown.
Johnson would like to get back in the game, but it's King's turn. Haynes waits, incomplete, and almost picked off. Tried to get it to Muhammad, but Sherman Timms almost had the interception off the carom.
Lucky to maintain that possession. Well, a lot of defenders converging on this throw. You see it, the backfield motion. Haynes King just trying to keep this alive, rolling to his left. And
that was Jet Johnson, actually, that dove in there. King caught by Green and down at the 4. Max goes back in the 10th.
He tried to tape up the thumb, took the tape off of the thumb. And now a 3rd and goal to go. Can't pick up a first down here. No fresh set of downs available. You got 2 cracks at the end zone. Alert QB draw at all times when 13's in there. So you've got to be sound inside out if you're rushing the passer.
King incomplete. He wanted Muhammad, but he got pushed off his route. 4th down.
And once again, they're able to win inside out. Big Cameron Young and his defensive mates able to collapse the protection inside out. It's been the story. Not just winning on the edges, but they've been able to get right in the face of the passer.
On 4th down, King will run and score. You can't coach that.
Watch on the inside, they pick up the blitz. I don't know, it looked like a chop block on Jet Johnson there. He got cut while he was also engaged by the adjacent lineman, no flag. And Haynes King able to make something out of that and end up in the end zone.
And it's now 28-17. Haynes King was benched a few weeks ago. Jimbo Fisher said he took it like a man. Has been one heck of a teammate to Max Johnson. With Johnson out, King is back in the end zone, that is. Aggies still alive.
Dish and Sling customers, ESPN is no longer available on your TV lineup. Don't miss out on college football, Monday Night Football, MLB, SportsCenter, and more. Go to keepmyespn.com for more information.
It's called the sandwich generation. The parent of a child is also the child of a parent and is caring for them both. A privilege you wouldn't ever trade, and a challenge that can take up most of your energy. We're here to make home more comfortable for everyone. With the right home loan for you, whether it's a first home or refinance, renovation or addition, fixer-upper or new build. We believe real banking is a conversation. Let's talk about your mortgage. Sandy Spring Bank.
On an urgent Fansville.
Hurry! It's almost kickoff. I am. Oh, they logged me out! What's the password?
Okay, it's P23XR ampersand.
I miss basic cable. Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
Hi, I'm Alok, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is it has that kick. Not too spicy, but it's just enough for your taste buds to feel that level of heat. And you're like, ooh, this is good. It's the perfect amount of spicy.
Hi, I'm Capri, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is the chicken. You can tell they actually put it on the grill, cooked it in the sauce, marinated it. You're definitely getting a good grilled spicy sandwich.
A Cadillac is more than a statement. It's a celebration of self-expression and a declaration of your independence. So choose to be bold and choose to be exactly who you are. Get 2.99% APR for 60 months plus $500 purchase allowance on the 2022 Cadillac XT4, XT5, and XT6. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
SEC Network Football is presented by Allstate, reminding you that football season is mayhem.
Tonight at 7:30 Eastern, number 1 Georgia's in Columbia squaring off against Mizzou in our SEC Saturday night matchup. It's also available on the ESPN app. That's in just more than 30 minutes. Top-ranked Dogs in Como tonight. Here, Mike Leach's Bulldogs lead the Aggies 28-17. He did say that cowbells, he thinks, are louder than a dog growling, a cat roaring, or firing off a howitzer.
There's no way it's louder than firing off a howitzer.
Well, maybe if 60,000 people ring the bells.
Okay. Well, if there were 60,000 howitzers, right? I mean, we're comparing a bell to a howitzer. But I get it. No, the collective noise. One howitzer versus 60,000 bells. An interesting study.
He loves the home field advantage. He's hoping his team can finish off Texas A&M here. Alyssa, I know that you've been over behind that Aggie bench. Max Johnson winning that 10. Is he still in there?
Yeah, I've been watching how they've been handling this on the sideline. Obviously, he comes out with that injury, goes into the tent. He comes out with that thumb appearing to be taped up, goes through a couple of passes on the sideline. They took the tape off. He appeared to be maybe a little bit uncomfortable with it. Threw a few more balls, then they retaped that thumb again, and he's been in the tent for probably the last 5 or so minutes. Still in there right now, guys.
All right, Haynes King just scoring the touchdown, coming off the bench for him, and back to the air goes Rogers. Caught! Ra-Ra Thomas! Goodbye! He beats Deuce Harmon for the football, stays upright, and goes 75 yards for the longest play of the season. Ben Rabin makes it 35-17 State.
They hit Ra-Ra Thomas earlier. Similar route concept. Rogers just looks to the middle of the field, knows he's going outside all the way. Thomas makes the catch and then runs after the catch for 6.
Child within you, don't be afraid to be young and free. Undo the locks and throw away the keys and hug you and kiss you and love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. La 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 la.
I'll remember that chapter of my life forever. We laughed. We cried. We protected that Progressive home and auto bundle day and night. We were all of us dazzling. Like knights sworn to protect our kingdom. We knew it wouldn't last forever, but that's what made it special.
I know we'll be back tomorrow, right?
Yeah, but it'll never be today again.
Just get on the bus floor.
For you, I wish many things. To see all the world can be. But most of all, I wish you'll never stop wishing.
Academy Sports and Outdoors has something for everyone in your family with the best selection and top brands to create new memories. We've got what you need in here to have fun out there. Start your next adventure at Academy Sports and Outdoors. Download our app or shop at academy.com.
It's already 93 billion light years across, and it's still expanding. Sure makes you feel small, doesn't it?
I still feel pretty big.
I still feel pretty big.
At Olive Garden, sauce is the soul. It's what takes you on a tour of Italy. That's why we make our sauces from scratch every day.
Bosch tools are built for workers. Bosch's powerful hammer drill has kickback control to help work go more smoothly when you need it. The 2-in-1 quickly changes between impact wrench and impact driver when you're slammed. And X-Lock switches wheels up to 5 times faster than standard grinders when you need to change tasks in a hurry. Bosch tools take care of the job and you. Bosch Tools, what hard workers deserve. Learn more at BoschTools.com.
Hey, on Monday we have the next Thinking Out Loud with Spencer Hall and Richard Johnson. They'll break down the weekend on the gridiron, talk about the hottest topics for the coming week, and preview Saturday's biggest games right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Tuesday night it's SEC Now with Stinch, Roman, and Alyssa. And Wednesday it's Out of Pocket with Alyssa and Andrea. Betsy and Taylor Czars are dinner time. Each of those nuts. Aggies will get it at the 25-yard line. Hey, LSU and Auburn are starting right now on ESPN. Who you got in that one on the Plains?
I'll take the team that's not starting their third-string quarterback, LSU Tigers. I mean, it's just Auburn Tigers, it's been a mess up front. It's been a revolving door along their offensive front. It's been a revolving door in the quarterback position. And you see Haynes King out there due to Max Johnson's injury.
Max went out with it looked like a hand injury. There he is on the sideline. He's come out of the tent. And King will finish this one up. Completes it to Stewart. Alyssa, anything on Johnson?
Yeah, you guys said it. His day appears to be over. I'm watching him on the Texas A&M bench right now. They've just brought out a brace from the locker room, and they put that on that left hand. He looks incredibly disappointed, obviously, to not be able to finish this game, and he looks to be in pain, but they're continuing to put that brace on that left arm right now.
Get some confidence for Haynes King going into that Alabama game next Saturday, but King is under pressure, stays alive, completes it to Stewart, and Stewart's off to the races inside the 45-yard line.
A great job by Haynes King shaking off a would-be tackle. Talking about he got in there earlier. He started off with some runs, low snap. Once again, pressure right up the middle. It's been a problem all game long. Keeps his eyes downfield. Finds the true freshman in Stewart. Nice run after the catch.
26-yard gain, and that's intercepted. Emmanuel Forbes. Hey, look what I found. Stewart had it, and it goes into Forbes' hands, and Forbes now has his 10th career interception.
The King put it out there. A couple of times where we've seen Aggie receivers get their hands on the ball, just can't come up with it. That time Stewart trying to complete this catch with just one hand. You got two of them right there. Your left hand's up there. Get it up. Trying to catch it with one. Cost his team a possession. Forbes Jr., the same guy that blocked the field goal earlier, gets returned for a touchdown by DeCamerion Richardson. It's been the same guys, been around the ball when it comes to takeaways today for the Mississippi State defense.
Rodgers throws behind Ra Thomas. Second down. There's an injury down on the field. We'll check on the player and come right back here in Starkville.
Hi, Dr. Rick. It's Julie. Just leaving you a voicemail. My number is 618-437-7425.
Okay.
It's for
Can anyone tell me what Julie did wrong there?
You gotta repeat the number. I mean, no one's ever gonna get it the first time.
Nope.
Didn't leave her last name.
No, the phone tells you who called.
Yeah, she didn't mention a good time to call her back. How am I supposed to know when to call her back?
No, she just shouldn't have left a voicemail. 9 out of 10 times a text will do.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto with us.
Here, have a Triscuit.
Bring on the zest.
with fire-roasted tomato and olive oil. Bring it with Triscuit.
Yo, my name is Luis, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is the different flavors that are hitting your mouth at every millisecond. You get the explosion and the zestiness of the chicken, then that spice just kicks in, and if you add that cilantro lime, perfection.
Hi, this is Becky, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is that marinade. They make sure that it is on the entire piece of chicken and not just on top. The pepper, whatever else is secret in their marinade, is amazing.
Hulu Ad Manager is the easy way for businesses like yours to advertise on Hulu. Think of it, your ads on a platform with the best TV around. Get started for as little as $500 per campaign. Sign up for Hulu Ad Manager today.
Bosch tools are built for workers. Bosch's powerful hammer drill has kickback control to help work go more smoothly when you need it. The 2-in-1 quickly changes between impact wrench and impact driver when you're slammed. And X-Lock switches wheels up to 5 times faster than standard grinders when you need to change tasks in a hurry. Bosch tools take care of the job and you. Bosch Tools, what hard workers deserve. Learn more at BoschTools.com.
You said close your eyes, don't look down. Fall into me, and I'll catch you, darling. We'll dance in the street like nobody's watching. It's just you and me, and the song.
Celebrate every kiss. Get financing that fits your budget with low monthly payments.
The First and 10 line is brought to you by T-Mobile here in Starkville. On what has been a picturesque Saturday for Mississippi State. By the way, you can play Steve Perry and Journey anywhere in this country. The people go bananas.
Even if they don't have cowbells. Although they kind of drown themselves out with the cowbell.
Tradition they started a few years ago, and it's become a fourth quarter stable at Davis Wade. There's Ra Thomas getting this ball out near midfield. Boy, he's had a big day. 21 more.
He has. He's been the downfield passing target repeatedly. I believe that's 3 downfield targets, 3 catches for Ra Thomas.
6 total catches for 134 yards and a touchdown. Woody Marks, first down run inside the 30. Bryce Anderson saved the touchdown.
Defense just really begging Mississippi State to run the football. A really light box. Cameron Jones takes care of it. Nice block on the edge by Jaden Wally. A missed tackle that time by Antonio Johnson. And old Woody's off to the races.
Mississippi State less than 5 minutes away from going to 4-1 and maybe a chance to get back into the top 25. Rogers throws behind, ducking, incomplete. You know, Mississippi State stinched for about 45 minutes of game time against LSU, looked like the better team, and then wilted in the fourth quarter. 3 and outs and an interception from Will Rogers. You take every other quarter and Mississippi State's that close to being undefeated.
Yeah, a muff punt, super short field. It was an anomalous performance, really. Didn't do very well. 3 4th downs and short that they couldn't convert.
To the sideline to ducking. Tackled by Harris. Clock continues to run under 4:30 to go. Bulldogs will play Arkansas next Saturday at noon on SEC Network. Our friends Dave Neal, Deuce McAllister will be here next Saturday for that.
How about that game? Alabama, backup quarterback Jalen Milroe comes in there, rips off a nice run, a 77-yarder. They're able to take care of business without Bryce Young.
And of course, who knows, maybe you see Milroe next week against these Aggies in Tuscaloosa on Saturday night. Rogers, nobody home. Calvin, the closest man to him, is now 4th down.
Yeah, 3 different targets to Calvin. Either hadn't been on the same page or has been off target trying to get the ball to him. Looked over to the sideline. Regardless, opportunity to put one through the uprights.
So Rabin will come onto the field to attempt a field goal of 39 yards. He's been perfect on the season. Made that 53-yarder last week, the second longest in Mississippi State history. Artie Cosby still with the record from 54. And that one hooks and is no good, so the score stays at 35-17.
You know, Taylor, we talked about it in the first half. The question was, can you keep Will Rogers clean? Will they be able to hold up? Because pressure was the story versus LSU. Pressure was the story last year in the Egg Bowl with DJ Durkin as the defensive coordinator. Could you affect the passer for Mississippi State with a reshuffled offensive front? That left side is completely re-envisioned. You got your left guard at left tackle. You got your backup center at left guard. And they held up really well today.
Haynes King back in, down 18 with 3:43 to go, and Texas A&M almost certain to fall to 3-2 and out of the top 25. I know when you're in year 5, as you see that incompletion there, Stench, you don't want to hear about inexperience and they're going to be better next year, but this is an incredibly young football team.
Remarkably so. And we asked DJ Durkin, have you ever dealt with the defense that's this young? Defensive front? He's like, no. We're talking to Jimbo Fisher. What about you? Nope. And I got to tell you, looking at their 2 deep, it is remarkable how many young players are on this field.
Johnson getting another pick by Forbes, and he takes it to the house. Hits his 4th career pick 6. No one in SEC history has more pick 6s than Emmanuel Forbes. Well, he's staying bounds, though.
It looked like he did. He might have tapped out right as he made the catch. Regardless, once again, what's the story? All game long, Zach Arnett dialing up the pressure. And once again, affecting the passer. This time it's Haynes King. I don't know that if it's his right foot. Now they're saying ruling on the field's a touchdown. They talked it through.
The intercepting team. That 15-yard penalty being enforced on the kickoff.
Man, it looks like left foot, I think, never touched down out of bounds. It was that right foot. I don't know that we ever had a good enough look at it. Right, the very first step, right? I don't know how you could tell. I mean, not from that angle. And look, I mean, you see him. The official's right there. I mean, he's in perfect position.
All those other pick 6s he had were 2 years ago when he was a freshman All-American. Now has 11 career.
The ruling on the field of an interception is under video review.
Well, he's had a whale of a game. Maybe a defensive MVP, special teams, blocks a kick, a couple of picks. But that time, the Aggies, they've got 6 in protection. But it looked like Mississippi State brought the house. All game long, though, it's been the internal pressure, flushing the Aggie passers. And when they weren't flushed, they've got defenders right in their face. As you take another look at it, is he out right there? I don't know if you can. I don't know that you got a clean enough look to tell if he's out on that first step.
I'm not sure how you could overturn it from that angle. If there's something cleaner than that.
I don't know, yeah. And again, look at the official. I mean, he's staring at him. He's in perfect position. Can't really tell from that one. Now I wonder, he's got another foot, not this step, but there's another step after this one with his right foot that maybe was out of bounds. Regardless, yet another takeaway.
After video review, the ruling on the field of an interception stands. It is a touchdown.
Just think about the history of this conference and all the great cornerbacks that were able to pick off passes from quarterbacks, and no one has been to the end zone more than this guy. Tied for first in SEC history with 4 pick sixes, and it's all Mississippi State today. Let's take a look at the Saturday MVP, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Well, we said at the top, Will Rogers is the engine. Back shoulder throw to Caleb Ducking. He's able to jam one in there to Harvey. And yet another nice pass downfield to Harvey again. It spreads the football around so nicely. Ra-Ra Thomas does the work after the catch, keeps his feet downfield. Different receivers on the other end of those passes, 31 of 45. I mean, that's a ton of pressure. They're asking you to run this thing. It hinges on your arm. Take nothing away from the rushing attack, which incidentally is way more potent than it's ever been under Mike Leach, based on today's production.
He's 7 away from our friend and colleague Aaron Murray's record for all-time completions in SEC history.
And he did it in 3 seasons. Yeah.
And Preston stays on his feet, almost near the 40-yard line. Well, when they hand me card 5, I toss it down to Alyssa Lang because this is her show. Alyssa, what's happening on Out of Pocket on Wednesday night?
Hey, I have a feeling we're going to talk a bunch about this game, this dominating performance by Mississippi State. But yeah, as always, every Wednesday on the SEC Network, myself and Andrea Carter coming your way, 7 o'clock Eastern time for an hour of recapping the weekend, looking ahead. We try to do it in a fun and creative way. I'm definitely going to talk about the bully ice cream that I ate at halftime, guys. I know y'all had it too.
So good.
Delicious.
Muscadine Ripple.
They treat you right here in Starkville. Haynes King delivers the football to Devin Price, who gets drilled by Forbes, who's having one whale of a fourth quarter. You know, King, you can see the athleticism stench. The guy keeps plays alive with his feet. He's able to deliver the football, but it's the turnovers. And we've seen it here today as he's come off the bench for Max Johnson.
Defensively, yeah. I mean, you face a guy like him and you're waiting for the opportunity. King eager to get this ball snapped. You see the center judge is like, look, you sub. Defense has to sub.
Around over, that's his first, LJ Johnson. And Johnson, a freshman from Cypress, Texas, gets 14 yards.
Well, the hard part when you look at this game, tons of missed opportunities for Texas A&M. Defensively as well. It's not just the red zone turnovers. They had a couple of chances to get their hands on some balls. You see the incomplete pass there to the perimeter. Trying to get to Devin Price, but they missed those chances to get their hands on some picks early on. You turn the ball over in the red zone, you go backwards, you get a field goal block. But more than that too is when you were affording your passers a clean pocket, they were actually able to execute in the passing game, and especially here in the second half. There was no consistency in that regard, though. It was always under duress most of this afternoon.
Here comes a flag in, looking for Moose Muhammad. Moose has had a big game with Anias Smith sidelined for the rest of the season.
Pass interference, defense, number 44. The ball we placed in the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
I don't know. The flag came out. It's not been, if there's been a blight on this afternoon, it's been Mississippi State, as here comes the house again.
King has to chunk it over Muhammad's head. Second down.
You call this a swarm blitz. You bring both inside linebackers and your safety. You just overload the protection inside out. You better have a plan for it. A&M hasn't had one all game. They have blown it from A-gap to A-gap. It's almost always a free runner. This time, Sean Preston. They haven't always brought all those guys, though. They've been able to get home with fewer.
That is incomplete, but more flags on the field. There's Hunter Washington working on Muhammad.
Pass interference, defense, number 21. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Came in from the back judge.
.213 left. King gets it out cleanly to Price. Takes a seat at the 11. Less than 2 minutes left. A reminder, Georgia and Mizzou coming up next.
Well, the Dogs last week. People talk about the way they underperformed. I don't think they ever punted. They didn't on offense. Probably dropped 3 touchdowns.
Johnson is down to the 1. Sean Preston able to keep him out.
Aggie offense still grinding. Mississippi State defense still trying to defend that end zone.
And Johnson scores the touchdown. Freshman from Cypress, Texas, his second rushing touchdown of the season. Well, one thing Jimbo Fisher needs to find with this offense are additional playmakers outside of Devon Achane. Saw some of it with Moose Muhammad, Evan Stewart, Donovan Green, and maybe even L.J. Johnson moving forward.
See Johnson there, able to plunge for 6, dress up the box score.
And that's all because of the injury to Anias Smith. Smith is going to miss the rest of the season, but our friend that's the executive director of the Reese's Senior Bowl down in Mobile, Alabama, Jim Nagy, has this on Smith's pro potential.
This will probably be a down year for Texas A&M in the NFL draft, but good news for Aggies fans is this 17th ranked football team is loaded with good young talent. One player we do see getting drafted despite last week's season-ending injury is wide receiver Anias Smith. Every NFL team is looking for that Deebo Samuel running back wide receiver combo type player, and Smith is one of the most explosive guys in this year's draft class in that role. So if you ask, how is last week's injury going to affect him moving forward? I think we look back at last year's draft with Alabama receiver Jamison Williams, who had an ACL injury and still went early in the first round. So we don't think it'll affect Smith's stock too much. We still see Anias Smith as probably an early day 3 pick in April's draft.
1 is now 84 for Texas A&M.
Good report there from Jim. You hated to see the injury to Smith getting rolled up like that against Arkansas last week. Statistically, he's on the top 10 receivers list in A&M history.
And he's just such a unique talent. You know, and again, their 2-back offense, he's in there, he's lead blocking. We saw him in the Texas Bowl, 3 years ago, I want to say. And Jimbo Fisher told us pregame, he's like, golly, we got a guy that he might be one of our best running backs. Nobody's even thought about him. We've had him at receiver. A really unique talent.
You realize that the Aggie fans didn't sign up for transition seasons, but this might be what this is. They're 3-2. They got Alabama and Tuscaloosa next week. Attempt the onside kick here. And it'll go out of bounds and be Mississippi State ball.
You're right. Yeah, nobody wants to hear about that, and yet that is the reality right now. This is a team that's in transition. You know, they had to pivot at quarterback. They had to in-game pivot at quarterback again due to the injury. But defensively, so much youth. They allowed a ton of yards. And you look at the special teams collapse. And then, of course, an inability to sustain drives, especially in the first half, execute in the red zone. Jimbo Fisher said, look, it's like guys are taking turns. And it does feel that way. And at the same time, if you talk about it all the time, you start the season as a freshman, but if you're playing as a freshman, you're not a freshman anymore. About halfway through the year, you can't be treated like a rookie.
Rodgers going the distance today. And then he'll hand off to Marks. Inside the 40. Bulldogs improving to 4-1. They have Arkansas here next week, which will be difficult. And some are saying they have the toughest schedule in college football. Vanderbilt drops off the schedule. Georgia jumps on.
Yeah, I mean, you think
about
that, right? Here at Mississippi State, where you're going, man, you got to play Bama, which Bama able to take care of business without Bryce Young. We mentioned that earlier. Jalen Milroe in there for after his injury. And then, of course, as you pointed out, you can't get a tougher draw out of the East Division than Georgia. And that's exactly what Mississippi State will have to face.
The FPI actually says it's the second toughest schedule in America. This is the best start, though, a 4-1 start for the first time since 2014. They won 10 games that year. They were number 1 in the country in the first ever college football playoff that season, and they might be back in the top 25 after this one.
You know, outside of a rough second half, you're talking about a team in Mississippi State that could be looking at an unblemished record. They could build on this victory over A&M. 2 years in a row now for Mike Leach and his Bulldogs.
I want to thank everybody in this booth today. Jan, Kevin, Russ, all of you, to Eric, and to TJ back in the truck. For Matt Stinchcomb and Alyssa Lang, I'm Taylor Zarzer. Our final score, Mississippi State 42, Texas A&M 24. We send you now to SEC Now, presented by Yellowwood.
All right, Taylor, thank you much as we do welcome you into SEC Now, presented by Yellowwood. Abbreviated version will get you out to Como here shortly to watch #1 Georgia, of course, led by Stetson Bennett, take on the Missouri Tigers. Again, 2 minutes from now, we will send you out there. Kickoff just over 7 minutes from now. Let's show you what happened with the #2 team in all the land, the team right behind Georgia. That's, of course, Alabama. On the road in Fayetteville, Arkansas's never beaten a Nick Saban-coached Alabama team and Bryce Young. Scary moment in the second, up 14-0, rolls out, comes down hard on his right shoulder. Nick Saban said after the game, sprained shoulder. More information certainly will come, but his day was done.
Yeah, Alabama was dominating up to this point in time, having their way through the air against Arkansas's defense, and all of a sudden a change in momentum after that.
Entirely change in momentum. Arkansas had scored 17 straight. Bama punting, bad snap, puts Arkansas inside the 5. Rocket Sanders pushes his way in. They went for 2, did not get it, 28-23. But then Alabama put together 3 plays of 70-plus yards in an 8-minute span. No SEC team had even had 3 70-yard plays in a game in 15 years. Jahmyr Gibbs went over 200 rushing, was tremendous, and Alabama ends up running away.
I mean, what about Jalen Milroe? He comes in, probably doesn't expect to play. You got the Heisman Trophy winner, but you have to be prepared every time you lace him up. He had a huge run, 77-yard run all the way down.
On 3rd and 15.
On 3rd and 15.
5-point ball game at the point.
I think there's clearly, we got to find out what happened to Bryce Young, but it's exciting to see that young man come in and make some plays.
Takeo, real quick, I want to get your thoughts before we send it out to Georgia, Missouri. What do you want to see from the number 1 team in the land, Georgia, here tonight?
Consistency. More of what they didn't do from last week. They're playing against a team, Missouri, that's definitely down and out. I want to see Stetson Bennett come in, be able to deliver the ball all the way across, disperse it, and make sure they finish with touchdown.
All right, let's get you out there. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, Cole Kublik in Como.
Sorry, thanks. This is Faurot Field in Columbia, Missouri, where the Tigers have never beaten the number 1 AP team in college football. An opportunity for Eli Drinkwitz' team tonight as Georgia looks to once again prove they're the best in the nation. From Faurot Field in Columbia, Missouri, Dogs, Tigers.
I walk 47 miles of barbed wire. I got a Cobra snake for a necktie. A brand new house along the roadside, and it's made out of rattlesnake hide. Come on, take a little walk in the city and tell me who you love. Who you love. Who you love. Yeah, who you
The energy is palpable inside Faurot Field. This is SEC Saturday Night presented by T-Mobile. And we've got the entire field covered for you tonight. Number 1, Georgia's in town to take on these Missouri Tigers. And we're going to take you somewhere you've never been before. In moments, Cole Kublik will be with Kirby Smart. But right now, behind that door, inside the Missouri locker room, Jordan Rogers is in the scrum with this Missouri team looking for the upset of the day in college football.
Thanks, Tom. Just heard Eli Drinkwitz address his team. He mentioned one thing, opportunity. The opportunity of a lifetime must be seized within the lifetime of the opportunity. That opportunity for this Missouri football team is right now. They have the number 1 team in the nation on the other side of a garage door that is getting pounded on right now. It is intense in here. There is focus, and this is a team that said there's nowhere else they would rather be as they walk out right now.
Been a while since I ran out on a field like this. I tell you what, the crowd out here from Missouri is ready to see what this team can do against a challenge unlike any other with Georgia, the number 1 team in the nation. Tell you what, Tom, I didn't stretch for that one, but I felt pretty good. If I had to put some pads on, I bet you I'd give you 1 play.
Jordan, that was a perfect run for you. Last week for Georgia, an imperfect performance against Kent State. There is only one goal for Kirby Smart's Bulldogs. That is perfection. They achieved it last year with the national championship, and now they've got to get another SEC win as they come on the road to Columbia, Missouri to try to do just that. Cole Kublik is standing by with the head dog.
Coach, the stretch zone play that Missouri runs is going to be critical for your defense to stop tonight. How will you get that done?
Set the edge and knock it back, man. You got to set great edges. You got to knock it back. You can't overrun it.
Is there anything else we can see from Brock Bowers? He's been a do-it-all football player for your team all season.
Well, we'll see tonight. He's a hell of a competitor, man. Love to watch him play. He loves the game. He plays it the right way.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
I'm unplugged.
We just heard about Brock Bowers.
I said he's one of the Heisman hopefuls, one of the best players on the best team in the country. And the problem with Brock Bowers is this. You put a corner on him, he's too big, he's too physical. You put a safety on him, he's too fast. And watch how Georgia moves him. This is what makes him so dangerous on this play. He's got one responsibility. Safety's got it. He moves. Now the other safety rolls down to get him. He goes in motion. Now the opposite safety has to have him. 3 times before the ball was snapped, the responsibility for Brock Bowers changes. Again, start him in attached. Move him outside. Now he's one-on-one on a corner. You change the responsibility. You change the picture right before the snap. Set up a matchup, and he's going to win that every time. And let's not forget, he'll break one for 70. He'll jump over a corner, but he is still a physical tight end at heart, and he will run you to the sideline and open up holes. That's what makes Brock Bowers so dangerous.
He is the #1 goal for Missouri to try to slow down tonight. Meanwhile, Cole, on the Missouri side, the biggest question mark this week, Luther Burden. He's a 5-star recruit. He hasn't gotten a ton of touches when things aren't going well for Mizzou. How big a role can he play tonight?
I think he can play a critical role. We watched him in practice yesterday. Did have an ankle taped up. Did not seem to be exactly 100%. But I do think he's a guy that can still be a playmaker. I think maybe even more of a decoy than anything else. If Eli Drinkwitz can get him on the field, move him around a little bit, I know for a fact after visiting with the Georgia staff, they will respect Luther Burden if he's in the game.
So Georgia will return, and what an opportunity for this Missouri program, Jordan. They beat #1 BCS Oklahoma in 2010. They've never beaten the AP team, and this environment might just help them.
I tell you what, I was in there when Eli gave his speech. There was focused faces. There was optimism. There was excitement. This team is ready to take on Georgia here.
No return for Kearis Jackson, and now we see Stetson Bennett for the first time tonight. Last year, he may have been the most polarizing great player in college football. Now, he's just a great player.
Yeah, last year at this point, we didn't know. Is he a game manager? Can he be somebody that can take this team to a national championship and beyond? Those questions were answered. And this Georgia offense, so much different than last. This is a Georgia offense that can beat you through the air. And really, that's their strength with 1984, Ladd McConkey, Brock Bowers, Darnell Washington. They're going to throw a bunch of different looks at you, and it all centers around that national championship winning quarterback, Stetson Bennett.
They split Bowers out with Washington inside into the left side. Kenny McIntosh is the tailback. Bennett to the slant, little bit behind and incomplete. Trying to find Marcus Rosemy-Jackson.
And that one just a little off by Stetson Bennett. It's a slant route. You want to leave that on the front shoulder, just a hair behind. Little nerves early in this game. That first pass for a quarterback, never your best usually, but a great play on the outside to break that up as well.
Dogs will try to run it. Missouri is right there. That's Christian Williams. Cole, you think if Missouri has any advantage tonight, it's going to be their bigs on the defensive line.
They have interior defensive linemen that can be disrupted. And you see Christian Williams right there just busting through over the left side B gap, being able to penetrate and get an early TFL. It's what this Missouri defense has to do. Be problematic early on behind the line of scrimmage.
Third down here. Keep an eye on Brock Bowers. He's on the right side of the line of scrimmage, attached at tight end right now. Let's see if they move him to try to set up a matchup for this third down, and they do.
Made eye contact with Bennett before the shift. Third down, 14 for Georgia. Pressure coming up the middle. Bennett, pressure, sidesteps it, gets one man in the air, and goes down, and Missouri with a big stop on Georgia's first possession.
You cannot start any better than this for Missouri. They have two really good defensive ends, Trajan Jeffcoat, Isaiah McGuire, both of them right there in the backfield, getting pressure on Stetson Bennett and able to finish it off to force a punt on the opening drive for Georgia.
Brett Thorson to punt it away. It's Luther Burden, the 5-star, to return. Fair catch. And that's where Missouri's offense will take over. They're led by a sophomore from St. Louis out of Chaminade, Brady Cook, who grew up a Missouri fan, whose parents are here tonight and brought him to Tiger games as a kid. Never before has the Missouri quarterback beaten the AP #1 team. What an opportunity in front of Cook tonight.
Yeah, and what an opportunity to continue the path of development. I tell you what, watching Brady Cook, his decision-making, his downfield passing, all have continued to improve with experience. And I tell you what, if I'm Eli Drinkwitz, I'm looking at that play sheet after that start by my defense. First couple plays here, I'm taking a shot at some point.
Tailback to start the game is Cody Schrader, the D2 transfer from Truman State. No end around, they get it into Burden's hands, and on the sweep he had to fight for everything,
and that's huge. Get the ball early into the hands of your playmaker. In Missouri's 2 losses this season, he's only had 2 touches for 9 yards, 1 reception, 1 rush. Got to get the ball in your playmaker's hands early, get him in rhythm, get some confidence going.
Daniel Pete now in a tailback for Mizzou. And this is Lovett. So both talented wide receivers have gotten a touch in the first 2 possessions.
I like how you spread the ball outside, try to get it to the perimeter early time, and you mentioned it. 2 guys who can be dynamic. 7 and 3, both pointed out to me on the field by the Georgia defensive coaching staff as guys that have to be aware of. But you show a couple of things. You show the stretch zone play from a blocking perspective with your offensive line, and then show that you're willing to go the opposite direction with your playmakers.
The Georgia defense, which was stout through their first 3 games, finally gave up some points last week against Kent State. Best defense in the country last year. Cook pressure, escapes, and had to work just to get past the line of scrimmage.
Tackle by number 3.
That's some leakage here on 3rd down. It comes from the interior. D-line stunting hard to the left, and if you're an offensive lineman, you got to work, and press those double teams inside to make sure nothing gets up the middle. Good job by Brady buying some time.
Jack Stonehouse to punt it away. Ladd McConkey had some issues with punt return last week. End over end. McConkey will take a fair catch. And Georgia's second possession will begin just outside the 10-yard line. Georgia 3 and out on its first possession. Stetson Bennett will have the ball in his hands when we return to Columbia.
So it's Friday night dinner. All of a sudden, boom. And you, Gecko, go, bundling your home and car insurance could save you hundreds. And then the neighbors are like, huh? The little girl's like, hi, Gecko. Huh?
Quite the commercial.
I know, right?
Geico. Pacifico is brewed for those who follow their own path. That's living life acres up.
When you have auto glass damage, let Safelite come to you. My customer enjoys time with her family. So when her windshield got a crack, she scheduled with Safelite in just a few clicks. We came to her house, replaced the windshield, and installed new wipers. That's service on her time. Here you go. Wow, thank you. Bye. Don't wait, schedule now.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Guys, I got a game today. I need a ride.
But it's only Saturday.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. College kid.
Who took my helmet?
Ready.
Where are my socks?
I need more club.
Have you seen my pads?
Fashion.
I'm coming, Baker.
So where are we headed this week?
Texas.
Texas. Road trip.
Yo, my name is Luis, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is the different flavors that are hitting your mouth at every millisecond. You get the explosion and the zestiness of the chicken, then that spice just kicks in, and if you add that cilantro lime, perfection.
Hi, this is Becky, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is that marinade. They make sure that it is on the entire piece of chicken and not just on top. The pepper, whatever else is secret in their marinade, it's amazing.
Remix your routine. Make it a Hidden Valley Ranch night.
No score in Columbia, Missouri. Georgia Bulldogs going to take the ball on offense, Jordan. This is a team that sets up the run by throwing the ball. When does Georgia need to commit to the rushing attack tonight?
Well, you at least have to show it, right? Early on in your play calls, first 15, you need to show certain runs because you want to set up the play action. You want to set up certain formations. So I expect a few runs early on here, whether they hit or not. That's going to set up formations, give Stetson information to then let the pass game take over.
And so second possession for Georgia begins at about the Missouri 10. And they'll run it in a huge hole for Kendall Milton. And a change of direction, but he lost the football. Tigers fall on the logo. Was he down or not? Looks like Missouri made its first break. Tyron Hopper forced it out. Rakestraw found it.
Momentum is so big in these games, and already Missouri with the 3-and-out on the first drive. And let's take a look at this one. Milton splits up the middle. It's never from the guy that you see. It's always from behind you. And that one looks like a clean punch, like Peanut Tillman back in the day coming from behind on that one.
Oh, it was. The knuckles right on the ball.
Tyron Hopper.
Excellent play. Blocked perfectly. Cedric Van Pran up on the second level. A nice cutback. Going to be an explosive play for Georgia. Ball pops loose. Missouri gets a big one.
These are the plays you have to capitalize on in games like this.
And so Cook under center now. Little misdirection, a lot of window dressing. He's pressured and goes down. The Georgia defense answers with a big play of its own. Kamari Lassiter.
Well, I tell you what, from down here on the field, it looks like early on this Missouri offensive line just getting overpowered by some movement up front.
Absolutely. Blocking the stretch play there, get another play action, but keep in mind, long developing play. It's fine to go play action, but you go play action up the middle and then play action to that rocket motion around back, gives that Georgia defense a lot of time to penetrate.
On second down, this is Pete. And Pete gets stuffed for a loss. Jamal Walthour is there.
We saw the plan early on, right? Get the ball to the perimeter if you're Missouri. Got Burden going early on. I'd like to see some quick throws to the perimeter. I know it's third and long right here. You're not going to take a chance pushing the ball too far downfield. Expect a layup throw, maybe a perimeter screen, get your wide receiver in space, or a screen to the running back.
Burden on the logo right here.
Condensed formation.
Cook, third and long. Completes for basically nothing, and they'll have to punt it away. That's Toshki Dove, the senior wide receiver, stopped by Christopher Smith. Well, Missouri unable to take advantage of the turnover. We ran into former Tiger coach Gary Pinkel at dinner last night. He's headed to the College Football Hall of Fame. So if you win games like this, you can't make mistakes. You've got to create some breaks, but Eli Drinkwitz's team unable to take advantage of the takeaway. Jack Stonehouse. And McConkey again, another fair catch. Missouri owning the field position. Nobody has found the scoring column. 9:30 to go. Stetson Bennett coming back here in the first quarter.
Bravo!
For buying a treadmill?
You use the Quicksilver card from Capital One. It's simple, with no annual fee and unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere. That makes you the hero of every purchase.
Yeah.
And heroes don't take the stairs.
Is this a parachute?
What's in your wallet?
Bedtime.
Bedtime.
I love bedtime.
The thin, sweet bite to end the night. Oreo Thins.
Over 100 crispy Old World pepperoni. Cheesy crust edge.
This Fanceroni pepperoni from Little Caesars is fancy.
Am I fancy enough for the Fanceroni? I'm wearing cargo shorts.
But Tim, me too. Fancy isn't measured by your inseam. Fancy comes from here. Cause if you are what you eat, then we're all feeling mighty fancy today. Yeah! Try the Fanceroni pepperoni with over 100 Old World pepperoni.
Pizza, pizza. It's already 93 billion light years across, and it's still expanding.
Sure makes you feel small, doesn't it?
I still feel pretty big.
I still feel pretty big.
You said close your eyes, don't look down. Fall into me, and I'll catch you, darling. We'll dance in the street.
Since when do you drink tap? Since I found out. Ugh, gross. I know.
SEC Saturday Night is presented by T-Mobile, bringing 5G to hometowns across the SEC.
It was one of the biggest wins in Mizzou history with a game day crowd, a record 18,000 on the quad. John McGaffey returned the opening kick for a touchdown, and Missouri knocked off BCS #1 Oklahoma. They stormed the field afterwards. Sooners threw some punches, but Missouri got the last laugh, 36-27. Chase Daniel was not the quarterback on that team. Blaine Gabbert was, but Chase is invested in this one. He said, if Mizzou wins today, I'm paying a bar tab for everybody at Harpo's tonight. They'll probably take the goalpost there, too, if they win. You in, Jay?
Yeah, and Chase better hope that you're not going. I know you're running that thing up as much as possible. You're the mayor of Como.
Listen, he's got enough in his NFL earnings. That was a wise move for guys. Made 5 starts in his career. Spin move, and that is rejected at the line of scrimmage. It's Isaiah McGuire out of Tulsa Union with another big stop.
Well, I tell you what, last year I thought Mizzou had 2 of the most underrated defensive ends in the entire conference. And right now, early in this game, they're showing up. Isaiah McGuire, Trajan Jeffcoat have both been huge early on, and I am really impressed with the confidence and the speed that Missouri has started this game.
Georgia guilty of sleepwalking against Kent State last week at home with an early start. They've got plenty of red-clad fans in the building tonight. And the Missouri intensity ratcheted up with #1 on the other sideline. Play clock late. Straight ahead run. And a gain of 3 to set up third and about 7.
I'll tell you one thing, Cole, that Missouri's doing up front is they're getting their one technique angled, and they are just hitting the center from the side, really trying to stop those double teams by Georgia from getting to the next level, allowing their linebackers to run free. And so far, that plan is holding up.
Absolutely. That penetration coming because guys getting north and south quickly for this Missouri defensive line.
Third down 7. Bennett takes advantage of the time, but it's a drop. It's Ladd McConkey, who's had a tough last 5 quarters. A drop last week, a drop touchdown, a fumble, a muff punt. Kirby Smart said nobody wants to fumble the ball, but it's about focus with him, and that's been the teaching point.
Yeah, really good concept here, and Stetson does a great job with some stuff around his legs there of delivering that ball. I'll tell you what, sometimes as a receiver, it's just all mental. It's between the ears. Sometimes you need a layup throw on the outside, a quick one, just to get things going, to shake it off. Kind of like a hitter in a slump, you know? You got to do something to slump bust.
Mark Gray said so. Thorson gets it away. Burden going to try to return. First man by him, by the second as well. Taken down at the 45-yard line after a 49-yard punt, 6 on the return.
Dish and Sling customers, ESPN is no longer available on your TV lineup. Don't miss out on college football, Monday Night Football, MLB, SportsCenter, and more. Go to keepmyespn.com for more information.
So I said, yeah, you're saving hundreds with the home and auto bundle from Progressive, but there's no saving that casserole.
I just love that word bundle. It's so fun. You know, 2 things coming together like a force of nature. Like it was really meant to be, you know?
Yes. Yes, I do. I'm so glad you want to save money. Rodney, set up a bundle for John Hamm.
Of course. John, is it still cool if I catch a ride home with you?
I never said it was.
Yeah, but technically you didn't say it wasn't.
It's not.
Yet.
Here, have a Triscuit.
Bring on the zest with fire-roasted tomato and olive oil. Bring it with Triscuit.
You know soccer can be long, too dramatic. Well, I'll give it up. Bundesliga. It's a whole other game. Football may not always be perfect, but Bundesliga is football as it's meant to be.
Wayne bounce pass on the basket. Gafford weaves and slams. Oh, Gafford, one dribble, 2 points. Hachimura. Oh, it's there. Rui Hachimura. That's the way you get things to Vucevic. And blocked from behind by Porzingis. Beal to the basket. Bang. And one. And he flexes his muscle. To the top yard catch and shoot for 3. It's there. Cuts to his right foul line. We're all slam. Wham. There was some anger in that one.
Hi, I'm Malak, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is it has that kick. Not too spicy, but it's just enough for your taste buds to feel that level of heat. And you're like, ooh, this is good. It's the perfect amount of spicy.
Hi, I'm Capri, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is the chicken. You can tell they actually put it on the grill, cooked it in the sauce, marinated it. You're definitely getting a good grilled spicy sandwich.
Better run through the jungle.
Back to Benzema. 1-0 to Real Madrid. Siempre somos los dueños del juego. Billones, billones, empezamos de cero. We're making it, dinero, dinero, y no vamos a parar.
Eli Drinkwitz got this Mizzou job on the heels of a 12-1 season at App, and Cole, one of the things he brought with him was the stretch play.
Yeah, he brought Dwayne Ledford from NC State as well. That's where he kind of picked it up, but you're going to see the entire flow of the offense. Hit the perimeter, it's going to